now this asynchronous sequential circuit. Okay, so far we have seen lot of synchronous circuit design, right? We have seen some basic latches, some combinational circuits, how to convert the latch into controlled latch, and then controlled latch into flip-flop, right? And then adding some additional control terminals called reset, set, enable, disable, clock, right? All those things for our sophisticated computations or sequential operations in the digital domain. Then we have seen some examples how to design the synchronous sequential circuits for some applications like a sequence detector, vending machine controller, or such similar applications wherever you want to execute something in a predetermined sequence. Because we know the application, therefore we can derive the state table or state diagram. From there you can develop the circuits. I hope on the lab you have implemented Mealy and Mori machine, right? Right. So you know how to implement them in the FPGA also, right? So now we are moving into uncontrolled sequential circuits, also called asynchronous sequential circuits. It is also called uncontrolled sequential circuits. Uncontrolled sequential circuits. Uncontrolled in the sense asynchronous, not synchronous, because we don't have any control over the circuit. But this circuit also gets lot of applications, right? So uncontrolled sequential circuit, uncontrolled in the sense it has no father, means it has no owner to control it. Asynchronous sequential circuits, right? Because it is not in the control of anything, right? We will see, we'll understand how and why, and then still why do we need this kind of circuits? Though there are some problems, we know very well. Before going into it, we know that there are some problems, but why still we prefer to have the asynchronous sequential circuits, right? Lot of applications are there. We will see subsequently after understanding what is this asynchronous sequential circuits and why there are some problems and what are they and how to address them, right? Now you look at this circuit. This is called a general block diagram of a general structure of asynchronous sequential circuits. General block diagram or design of the asynchronous sequential circuits. We know that any sequential circuits for any application will consist of three parts. One is the first combinational part, second is the memory, right? Third one is the again combinational circuits that will generate the output. Hey, all of you show your face if possible. I mean, if you don't have any internet constraints, you can show me. Otherwise, no problem. If you have any internet constraints, no issue. So, show me your face means show me your face, not only your head, Anvisha, and not your room fan. Okay, good. So, asynchronous sequential circuits, right? You look this circuit, this also has the similar part, right? One is there is this is your combinational circuits we have seen, right? And this is also the combinational circuit. This is also the memory. So there is no any difference, right? Synchronous sequential circuit and asynchronous sequential circuits both are similar by its top level schematic diagram or by its block diagram, right? But if you go in depth, if you go in deep, then you will understand this is fine. Anyway, this is the combinational circuit. This is also fine. Anyway, it is the combinational circuit. But whereas this memory, no, this memory consists of completely raw latches. Completely raw latches in the sense even this memory has no enable control, right? Even this memory has no enable control, right? What is latch? Latch is again the combination of some combinational circuits. That's all. Logical combination of some combinational circuits. We have seen one latch, something like this we have seen, right? This is one latch. Right. And then this is connected here, feedback. And then this is connected here, feedback. Right. This is our, maybe you, in general, you take it as A, B, R, S, R, S, R, S, R. This is a Q, this is a Q bar. This is a Q, this is Q bar. So this is the latch. But we don't have any control over this latch now. Whenever this S and R is changing, automatically Q and Q bar will be changed according to its characteristics equation now. If it is SR latch, some response. If it is a T latch, some response. D latch, some response. And JK flip-flop, some response. But however, the latch has some response or characteristics equation or performance. According to its performance, if S and R is changing, immediately Q and Q bar will be changing because we don't have any control over the latch. That is why we do not prefer the latch without the control, right? So we added some enable, then we converted this one into flip-flop and all. We know why we need such a controlled latches or flip-flops, right? But in this memory, this circuit, in asynchronous circuit, the memory will be consist of only the latches. Therefore, you are not in need of any clock here. No clock. No clock. And also no enable. And also no enable. No enable and no clock. If no enable and no clock, then the circuit is not in your control now. The circuit is not in your control in the sense, whenever you change the input, understand, whenever you change the input, then this combinational circuits will give its response. Then the response will flow through this memory. Then memory will change its state. Then that state change will be reflected in the operation of our output generating function. Then your output will be changed. Understand? And also, then this memory can come back here. Because of this memory output, this something will change here, no? Then that also will come back here. And then this change will again make changes in the combinational circuit here. Understand? Because this is a combinational circuits, no? So because of this change, again the memory will change. Right? So again the memory will change its state then the output also will be changed now. Therefore, dear students, the circuit may be in a race all the time. It is a closed loop, something. So some changes I am making here. So because of this change, something happens here. So some reflection is here. Then this change will propagate through this memory. Change is here, change is here. Again, this will come back here. Again, change is here. Again, change is here. So it may be always in a continuous race. You understand now? I am doing something here. Therefore, this fellow is doing something here. This fellow is doing something here. That something will come here. Therefore, something will happen here. Understand now? Then that things will again happen here. So it will be in state now. Therefore, the asynchronous sequential circuits may be in unstable state also. Unstable or stable. Unstable or stable state. Right. So we will understand very clearly what is unstable, what is a stable state now. That means your circuit will not give you the reliable output. Reliable output in the sense over the time, the output will not be stable. If you look the output response of your asynchronous circuits over the time, 1 0 1 1 1 0 0 1 1 1, it will alternatively keep changing, right, over the time. Understand now? So look here, what is the time now then? Because we don't have enable, we don't have the clock here. So what is the time? The time is, see, I make some changes in the input. That input to propagate here, right? Then this fellow will take some time. Then this will take some time, right? And then this output will be here. Then this output will come here, no? So that there will be some delay now. So I can accumulate or account all the delay at this point. So I introduce some delay here. The delay means this is the delay. This delay is with respect to the time when I changed the input now. When I changed the input now. For example, suppose I changed my input at T0. I changed the input at T0. Then what happened? The T0, the new input is applied into this next state generating function. right? This will take some time now. This will take some time, and then this will go into memory. Memory will take some time. Then after some time, this output will come back here now. Maybe T naught plus del T, right? So the del T is the total time here, total time, augmented time here, right? Accumulated time delay. So after T naught plus del T, then this new output, this output will come. The circuit may lead into the unstable and stable circuits now because of these issues now, right? So delay, we are accounting the delay here. So that delay is this delay plus this delay, then propagation delay, processing and then propagation delay all together. After that amount of delay, the new input will go into this circuit. Since this is also the combinational circuits, this will immediately progress and then new output will be generated here. Next state generating, right? We know this is the Q of T plus 1 generating function, not exactly Q of T plus 1, right? Generating function. Then there is a change here. Then the memory also will change its state. Then that state again will propagate back. Correct now? After some amount of delay, again that will introduce the new state. So if your circuit is keep moving like this, that is called unstable state. Unstable state. That means you will never get a reliable output from your circuit. Reliable output from the circuit. But whenever or wherever you are in need of such application, that means for every time, right, you need to change your input alternatively, or you need to change your output in some fashion, some predetermined fashion, you can go for asynchronous circuits because here you can achieve the maximum speed. Maximum speed means you are not in need of, first of all, any clock control here. Therefore, you no need to apply any external input into the circuit. Correct. And then you are not in need of any enable here. You are not in need of any enable here. Right. Second thing is this circuit can give you the highest possible output because there is no any timing management here other than its processing and the propagation delay. That's all. Right. For example, I am feeding the input at T naught, maybe at 1 microsecond, and then this circuit takes 1 nanosecond time delay for its internal process, right? And then this memory takes again 1 nanosecond, for example, 1 nanosecond as the processing delay, and then the propagation through this path and then through this path may assume 0.1 nanosecond delay. Then you are immediately, this output will change after 1 microsecond plus 2.1 nanosecond delay, right? So 1 microsecond plus 2.1 nanosecond. After 2.1 nanosecond, you can expect the change at this point, right? Then if you design the output in such a way that the change is happening in the way you want, right, in the predetermined fashion, then automatically these circuits also will generate the required output of your interest without any clock here, without any enable here, at its maximum speed. At its maximum speed. Understand? Because nothing is in your control now. Nothing is in your control. If it takes less than 1 nanosecond, then within 1 nanosecond, the output will be generated here. If it takes less than 1 nanosecond, after that much amount of time, output will be generated here. Then that is a matter of propagation because this is the longest path in this one now, right? So after all this delay, quickly, immediately, you will get the output here. In the same way, you will get the output also here now. Therefore, the asynchronous circuits also is required for some applications where we want to attain the high frequency changes now. Or you can generate the clock also. Internally, you can generate the clock without the support of the external clock. Therefore, the asynchronous sequential circuit also has its own applications, right? I heard that some quantum people are suggesting the asynchronous sequential circuits for their applications to generate the entangled photon and some internal high-speed clock and all. I heard. Maybe we will discuss in the 5th unit all those things in detail, right? So the idea is now without the control of anything, you can control the circuits to generate the required output, right? Required changes in the output or changes in the state by appropriately designing your both combinational circuits in asynchronous sequential circuits. That is the one advantage of the asynchronous circuits, right? So sometimes you can leave the circuits to run in the race because that is what I want. Correct? No? Because that is the sequence I'm expecting from the circuits. Therefore, purposely, I will allow the circuit, I will let the circuit to be in the race. Right? Suppose I don't want to be in the race. Right? I want to maintain the circuits in the controlled stable state, controlled fashion. Right? On that case, right, I can make the circuits to be in the stable state, right? And then whenever I change the input here, that instant only the circuits will go into some other state now, right? So that what we call the stable operation or stable state operation of the circuits. All the time you cannot attain the stable state in your circuits because nothing is in your control. Therefore, manually or by the algorithmically, you need to force the circuits into the stable state if it reaches the unstable state now, right? It is something like that. Suppose you allowed the circuits to be in the unstable state. Then at one instant you needed to stop it, no? Right. One instant you needed to stop it. So that instant, whenever that situation comes, you can force the circuits instead of going somewhere to the another unstable state, you can force into the stable state now. So that is the one way. Or other way, in between, I should not allow my circuits to be in the race at all. Because race also, there are so many races there. Critical races are there, uncritical races are there, cyclic races are there, that we will see in the subsequently now. So what kind of race you can allow in your circuits and what kind of races will fulfill your requirement or your application, you needed to identify. Accordingly, we needed to make the circuits to be in that particular race, right? So either the circuit should be in race, then fine, you allow the circuits to work in the race to give you the expected output. In case it should not be in race at all, in that case, you needed to identify if any race condition is there in the circuit. If anything, don't let the circuit to go to that state, right? And then you force into some other state. If that state comes, therefore you can control the state operation of your circuits now, right? So all those things are our future discussion subsequently now. So to go further, I take one simple circuit. One example. With this example, we will understand what is a state, what is a state, you know, what is a stable state and what is unstable state, what are all the issues associated to the unstable states. Example circuit.
Sir?
Yes.
Sir, can you please change this pen? It is not clearly visible.
Acha. Okay, Anvisha. Oh, yes, Anvisha. Actually, no, all my sketch, no, pura ho gaya ya. 1 second. Okay, right. So, you all of you take this circuit. I will draw here. Is it clear now? Red color is clear? All of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I will write the values here. This is a small y1 and this is x. Small y1 x. Next one is a x1 dash and this is a y2. This is y2, small y2. And the next one is a x. This is x and this is a y1 dash. Y1 dash. X y1 dash. Okay. This is capital Y1. This is capital Y2. This is AND gate. This is a OR gate. This is our external input X. This is external input. External input. So if you draw your circuit, it will be something like this. Right, this is our FPGA. FPGA, right? We are going to design this one like FPGA. Okay, fine. Can you able to see these things? No, that Anvisha, this chota letters also y1, x, x1 dash, y2. Is it clear now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine.
Yes.
Okay. Now we will discuss this one. We will understand what is here first of all, right? Then we will move forward. Listen here. This is our circuit, right? Asynchronous sequential circuits. Please understand that there is no any component called sequential components, right? All are AND gate, OR gate, NOT gate only now. Complete digital electronics consists of only these gates, that's all, right? Even we go to any level, in the 5th unit, we will see some ROM, EBROM, PLA, PAL, CPLD, right? All those designs, but everything is fundamentally gates only now. Is there called sequential circuits, memory, kuch bhi nahi hai. There are some blocks named as ECPLD, PLD, PAL, PLA, but ultimately all are consist of are covered by the basic gates, that's all, right? AND gate, OR gate, NOT gate, that's all, right? Okay. So you look this circuit, externally we are feeding one input here, that is a bit input, right? Not vector, not byte, bit input. And then I'm getting two outputs here, right? One is capital Y1, another one is capital Y2, right? I indicate here capital Y1, capital Y2, and then here small y1, small y2, assuming that this y1 will be available here after some amount of time, because it has to propagate back through this much long path, right? Because in VLSI, 1 nanosecond is also the matter. I told you there may be a mm path, right? Or 3 mm path, or 5 mm path, or 1 micrometer path, but it matters because we talk about the picosecond computation. In picosecond computation, nanosecond is a considerable delay. It is a matter, right? We need to consider it now. But when you talk about the second operation, then your microsecond is also not at all a matter. Correct? You can ignore it. But we want to achieve the picosecond speed computation now. Therefore, nanosecond and microsecond are very much matter here now, right? So capital Y1 is equal to small y1, but not at the same instant of time when capital Y1 is getting changed. Correct? No? So you indicate the delay, because this one will come here after some time. Therefore, this Y1 is taken here and Y2 is taken here in the lower letters, small letter, small y1, small y2, right? Throughout our discussion, we are going to use a small y1, small y2 now. So in some other authors use some right? But we use small y1 means it is the feedback input, right? Capital Y1 means output of the system. In some book, if you refer, they use y, z1, z2, z, like some other variable they use now, or some book they use y1 dash, y2 dash, right? So, however, we are going to use the chota y1, y2 to indicate that that is the output, that is the feedback input, right? Okay. Now, by looking this equation, we can derive the Boolean equation to understand this one from this expression. That is the capital Y1 is equal to x y1, x small y1 plus x dash y2. Capital Y1 is equal to x y1 plus x dash y2, right? So wherever the output is the function of again output, it is something like that. Q of t plus 1 equal to jq dash. Correct? No? So Q is again from the, understand? But Q of t plus 1 is the next output now. So this is the next output, whereas this y1 is the present input. Y1 is the present input, correct? But we have not taken such a way because we have the timing control in the previous operation. In the flip-flop, we have the timing control because the Q cannot be just like that to change the Q of t plus 1 in the flip-flop. But here, the y of 1, the chota y of 1 can just like that to change the capital Y of 1. I mean, the small y1 can just like that to change the y1 irrespective of x. Because no any timing control here now. Therefore, the capital Y1 is equal to x small y1 plus x dash y2. In the same way, the capital Y2 is equal to x y1 dash plus x dash y2. X y1 dash plus x dash y2 now. So this what we called Boolean equation or logic equation of this asynchronous circuits. Logic equation of this asynchronous sequential circuits. Asynchronous sequential circuits, right? Or we can write the characteristics equation, right? Or whatever it is the name. So this equation indicates here that see the y1 is equal to x y1 plus x dash y2 means the y1 will change. The y1 will change whenever you change the x. Obviously, correct? No, the capital Y1 will get changed whenever we change the x, right? So because of changing this x, because of this changing x, the capital Y1 will be changed now. Then the capital Y1 will become the small y1 after some amount of time. Therefore, again the capital Y1 will be changed. So because of this new capital Y1, again the small y1 will be reflected, will be going as input into this equation. Then again the y1 will be changed now. You understand? Therefore, circuits will go into the race, in continuous run now. So just like that, I changed only one input now. I triggered the input now. Then I made the circuits to reach the unstable state or races, right? But doesn't mean that all the time circuits will go to the race. Sometime it will change into another state and get stuck at that state also now. So that's what we call the stable state. That is called a stable state now. Then the input is here. I'm changing the input. Circuit goes into one state now, right? From that state, again it comes as the input into the circuit. So it goes into another state, then another state, another state, another state. So it keep moving. It keep moving. Correct? No? That is called unstable states now. That is called unstable state now. In the same way, this can be applicable for the Y2 also in this case now. Y2 also in this case. Now, the time required here to become the capital Y1 small y1 or to get the output capital Y1 at the input to small y1 completely depends on the processing of this circuit and then propagation of this feedback path. Correct? No? Propagation of the feedback path now. Since here only 3 AND gates and 2 OR gates, it takes some time. If you have a lot of combinational circuits, here it takes some other amount of time now. But however, ultimately, the processing and then propagation time will decide the time that is required to get your capital Y1 at the small y1. Capital Y1 at the small I1. So, much amount of time the race begins. Or there is a race, or there is a state transition right? In this asynchronous sequential circuits, after every propagation plus processing time delay, every processing plus propagation time delay. Please clearly you understand, right? Crystal clearly you understand the concept, then only you can write the code or you can design the circuits, right? Okay, now we will analyze its operations for certain set of inputs. Now what I do, I am taking one, first I am analyzing for y1, right? I am taking one K-map. Not K-map right now, it is just the characteristics table. To analyze this fellow behavior, I'm taking here small y1, small y2, and then x here, because small y1, small y2 into circuit, correct? No, not capital Y1, not capital Y2. So Y1, Y2, X will be 0, 1, and then here 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0 now, right? Now, this is for Y1. The same way for Y2 also we will analyze. For Y2 also we will analyze, right? Then in Y1, for Y1, you substitute in this equation and then you tell me the capital Y1. The inside entry will be the capital Y1. Obviously, this inside entry, no, this entry will be the capital Y1. Will be the capital Y1 now, right? So you substitute, if Y1, Y2 is 0, 0 and X is 0, what will be capital Y1? You substitute in this equation and then you tell me y1 is 0, therefore this term is 0. Here y2 is 0, this is 0. Same way you fill up and then you tell me. Substitute in the equation for y1 only. I also will write here, you check with your value. In the same way for y2, y2 also आप complete करो. Is it correct? My value is correct. Check with your value. All of you check. Chindamani, got the same value?
Yes, sir.
Good. Surabhi,
Yes, sir.
good. Okay. Next, I'm going to combine these two tables because state will be dealt combinedly, not individually. Correct? No, state of the circuit in the sense y1, y2 state. So you merge these two table. So that what we call transition stable, state transition stable. State transition table. State transition table. I'm combining these two tables now. This is x 0 1 0 0 0 1 1 1 1 0 1 1 1 0. Then combine this. Now in the entry, inside the entry will be capital Y1, capital Y2. So just 0 0. The first one indicates the capital Y1, second one indicates the capital Y2. Right? That just to write 0 0 0 1 0 1 1 1 0 1 1 1 1 0 0 0 and then 1 0 1 0 now. Right? Now we go to analyze this one. Take down this one. This is clear, no, Anvisa? These letters are clear, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Next, we go to analyze this one now, because this is the state will be dealt by combine, right? The y1, y2 should be dealt combinedly, then only it is a state. Correct, no? Suppose there are 4 states, S0, S1, S2 means 2 flip-flop will be combinedly dealt. 0 0 one state, 0 1 1 0 1 1, right? Like now listen. Now the idea is now suppose if your present state, present input y1 y2 is 0 0 and x is 0, then your capital y1 y2 will be 0 0. Correct, no? 0 0. Do you understand this one? The capital y1 y2 will be 0 0 now. If the 0 0, this 0 0 will again come back here as the input. Again it will come back here as the input. Correct, no? Right. So after some time, this capital Y1 0 0 will become small 0 0. So what happened now? Since the 0 0, when x is 0, will give 0 0 only. That 0 0 again will come back as the input. Right. Again it will give 0 0 only. Therefore, now the circuit is in the stable state. There is no any races now, right? So therefore, this cell you encircle it. You encircle this cell or you put to star, whatever you like you use there now. So this means this is the encircle. Encircle in the sense whenever x is 0, right? And at an instant small y1, y2 is 0 0, then capital Y1, Y2 also will be 0 0. Then that will come back into the circuit and the circuit will generate again 0 0. Therefore, circuit is in the stable state. That means if x equal to 0 and y1, y2 equal to 0 0, then capital Y1, Y2 also equal to 0 0. Therefore, there is a stability in the circuit. Stable state. Or you can write this as a no change state now. Correct, no? That means 0 0 will give 0 0. That 0 0 will come back here and then it propagate through the circuits. That also will give 0 0. Therefore, it is in the stable state now. Right. And then you come into this circuits now 0 1. You come into 0 1 circuit. When you are in this situation, suppose x is 0, when it is in the stable state, now the circuit is in the stable state. Now I am changing the input from 0 to 1. I'm changing the input from 0 to 1. Correct, no? Now the circuit is in the stable state. When the x is 0 and capital Y1, Y2 is 0 0, circuit reached the stability. Now it is in the stable state now. At that instant of time, I am changing the x into 1. From 0 to 1 now. I am changing the x to 1 now. Correct, no? X earlier it was 0 now here. Am I clear? All of you? Sai, Anvisha, Magna.
Yes, sir.
Class abhi. Okay, we will continue tomorrow then. No problem. We will continue tomorrow. Huh? Okay. Quickly आपका time हो गया यार. Just now we started time हो गया अभी 1 घंटा.